Hello and welcome back to SHRM Session 9 Part 2. In this session, we will focus on employee relations, specifically covering trade unions. Your learning outcome for this lesson is getting to understand employee relations. By the end of this session, you will be able to get an understanding about the employee relationship as well as trade unions. What does it mean by the employment relationship? The employment relationship is essentially the interaction between an employer and employee. Author Fox put forward two theories, unitarism and pluralism. Unitarist means having harmony between the employer and the employee. In this theory, conflict does not occur because we are all working towards the same goal. And if conflict does occur, it will be because of misunderstanding, poor communications, or somebody becoming a troublemaker. Of course, in the pluralist view, that's when you're having a number of groups in an organization with different interests. The central body will pull them together to achieve a common goal. When talking about the employment relationship, the psychological contract is a very key component. SHRM identified the psychological contract as an unwritten set of expectations of the employer as well as the employee. Employees have three areas of expectation. They need to be treated fairly, and in return for their loyalty to their employer, employees seek some level of security. And of course, they have a need for fulfillment, satisfaction, and progression in the organization. When discussing the employment relationship, it is important to look at the growth of legislation that impacts how SHRM and organizations are affected. There are three primary reasons for the growth of legislation. Political, because everyone has different agendas. Social, due to the changes in structure and style of family life. For example, there is a rising trend of shared parental leave. And finally, membership in international associations where countries are a part of the UN, the SAARC, or the NAFTA, which governs national laws under international conventions. When we hear the word employee relations, we always tend to think about trade unions. But it is also important to remember that while trade unions have very negative connotations, they are not necessarily bad. Salomon suggested that there are 6 distinct roles for a trade union. Power, to act as protection and support for the individual employee who can't stand up for themselves. Number 2, economic regulation. Trade unions must ensure best pay and benefits to its members. Number 3, job regulation. A trade union is there to ensure that decisions about daily working life are fair and that workers have a say. Trade unions also bring about social change to help develop a society with its members. Then there are member services, where the trade union will provide a relevant and appropriate service for its members. And finally, according to Salomon, a trade union also allows members to do more than just work in the confines of their role. They help them be more involved in their work, to make decisions, and have purpose. Looking at another author's view on trade unions, Gennard and Judge said that the key primary purpose of trade unions is to protect and enhance the living standards of its members.